So next we're going to talk about Sephora and specifically the It Is Time
Yeah.
ad with Mariah Carey, which seems perfect. Obviously, we know that after a certain point, basically it's Mariah Carey's time, it's the holidays, we're going to do the whole thing, which is lovely. However, Sephora is in a bit of a heated conversation, specifically on TikTok. I'm seeing a lot of the negative kind of backlash over there. Um, Specifically with this ad, so to set the stage, you have Mariah Carey kind of comes in floating. She's wearing this like white, cream, silver, whatever, depending on your lighting, gown. She's saying it's time. She's lit like an angel. Everything's great. The problem is that there's an elf. It's Billy on the Street
Billy
is
Eichner.
Billy Eichner, and he's playing an elf, a disgruntled elf, I need to say, who has a bag of Sephora goodies, and he's leaving. He's on strike, and he is going to sell the products in his bag in order to be able to afford Christmas. And so Mariah Carey takes affront to this, is very angry, and basically like poofs him into like a statue or something, um, which is fine. The problem with this is that, and you know this, is that marketing does not exist in a bubble. It does not exist in a vacuum. And there are other things that have absolutely nothing to do with your brand that directly impact how someone relates or reacts to your advertising campaign. And for this instance, yes, it's the holidays. And yes, we know if we hear Mariah Carey say it's time, that means it's the holiday season. The problem is a lot of people are struggling right now. A lot of
Mhm.
people don't know how they're going to be able to afford Christmas. They don't know how they're going to be able to even feed their children right now. And so for a brand that should know that people are struggling, it feels almost like and also this is a year where a lot of consumers have been boycotting brands. There's been a massive boycott against Starbucks. There's been a massive boycott against Target. That's really proven that they can move the needle when you get enough people in mass taking a stand together. And so you have Sephora saying, like, we know that people are striking, we know that people are unhappy, we know that people are unable to afford Christmas this year, and we're going to double down and say, like, it doesn't matter. It's time. Which, whether the intention is bad or good, is kind of irrelevant when it comes down to how each person is reacting to those videos. There, like with most things, there are people who've watched the ad and be like, "I don't get it. It's not that deep. It's the
Yeah.
holidays. Calm down." But there are also people that are saying like, "You know better, and you should understand that because of that, I don't want to shop with you anymore." And so I've seen people they've removed or destroyed, like, their Sephora cards. They've talked about the things that they wanted to buy that they're not gonna buy, that they're gonna buy from some other retailer now because, like, with most things in the marketplace, you can boycott one because there's somewhere else that you can get that product or service. It's not like you're saying no to one, and because of that, you have no access to that at all. And so we're seeing, especially in the holiday season again, controversies are rampant. Consumers are on edge, and they are going to react accordingly, whether the brand intends it or not. And so being able to read the room, as always, is a priceless endeavor for brands.
That's such a yeah, I mean, we're seeing that across the board, right? I mean, one
Yes.
of the
Yes.
things even to bring up is the whole Sydney Sweeney thing again,
Yeah.
right? Where
Yeah.
like it's not so much what she's saying, but
Yeah.
it's how she's saying it or the
Yes.
fact that she's even wanting to have it brought up at all when it's like we already know that it's like controversial. She's kind of gotten a pass where it could go one way or the other. And then this time it kind of just like confirmed in people's minds that, oh, okay, you actually are going there.
Yeah.
And then like that's the thing here where it's like, Mariah Carey at this point in her career has kind of seemed a little like, she's in her bubble. She's not
Mhm.
really like of the people anymore, which happens, right? You make enough money, you
Mm.
don't really see the struggles of, the day-to-day people. But Sephora has tried to make it a, thing where it's like they've started going down market to try to be more appealing to, a broader customer range. So the fact that they didn't think that this was gonna like hit, it's kind of, yeah, like the American Eagle Sydney Sweeney ad, right? Where it's like
Yeah.
if you had maybe talked to like read the room a little, like maybe
Yeah.
we wouldn't have gotten embroiled in this, right?
Yeah.
um I think another thing too that like really stands out is the whole song All I Want for Christmas is,
Uh-huh.
it's very anti-consumerist. It's like about a person, like
Yep.
what I want for Christmas is you under the tree. And then this kind of made it very much like, you want to buy stuff, you want to buy makeup, you want to, have a whole bunch
Mhm.
of things. And it's just like not really what the spirit of the message is. It's
Mhm.
also technically not the spirit of the message that you want to send for Christmas, especially
Mhm.
this year
Yeah.
because, I mean, the government shutdown is over yesterday, right? But it hasn't been. So when they were coming up with this ad and the idea, the government shutdown was still happening,
Yeah.
which means that a lot of people were not getting a paycheck.
Yep.
And we're still trying to decide what are we doing for the holidays. So I think they could have gone with like the spirit of Christmas this year is about getting family and friends together and like, really trying to imbue the happiness of the season into it as
Mhm.
opposed to, go back to work because it's Christmas and you want to make people happy selling, stuff that they probably don't need. So that's a wild message. I hadn't seen this until you told me about it. Actually before you explained it, I was like, it can't be that bad. I mean, like, but then when you're explaining it, I was like, oh wow, no, that's like
But it keeps going. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. This reminds me of the whole Pepsi and Kendall Jenner
Oh.
protest ad with the
Right.
height of like,
Yeah.
the marches and protests during like 2020 or
Yeah.
2021. Like read the room, people.
Well, I just think I think that there's so many levers to play with holidays, and especially
Mhm.
with Mariah Carey, like, it doesn't have to be nostalgic, it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
sentimental, it could still be fun, like, I
Mhm.
just like, the way she looked, so here's my pitch for Sephora. You basically have Mariah Carey, same outfit, same look,
Mhm.
same lighting, she looks angelic, she looks like the picture of Christmas, she is just a holiday joy, just glowing.
Mhm.
I love the idea of her walking into a mall, and it's almost like she parts the waters and everything changes. Like, she walks past a Hot Topic, and now it's, like, white
Christmassy.
and Christmassy and
Mhm.
twinkle lights and, like, glowy. She goes past Sephora, and now it's decorated. It's almost like she's like a Christmas fairy. Like,
Mhm.
have her, like, because it's time, she walks in the room and everything is transformed.
Mhm.
Everything
Mhm.
is better. There are sales that weren't sales because Christmas is here and it wasn't before. There are decorations, there are specialty gifts, there are things that you could only get at Sephora because it's the holidays. Like, she
Mhm.
really could have been almost this Christmas fairy that, like, transforms the
Yeah.
time of the season just by existing because we all know we've kind of gotten it beaten into our heads. We're conditioned. When you hear that certain note, you know
Mhm.
what time of year it is. Play into it. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely play into it. Have fun.
I
Talk
mean,
about how
she usually
transformative
does,
it is.
right?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if part of the problem was that is this like the first brand collaboration? Because
I've heard it was, and I'm not mad at that. Like,
yeah,
get
yeah.
your bag, Mariah. You
Yeah,
deserve it.
yeah,
Like, the
yeah.
holidays are yours. Get it.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah, but I
think
think, like,
yeah.
playing into, like, what Sephora's like, "We need to get people shopping," whereas, like,
Yeah.
before, the whole purpose of it was like, "Hey, we're transitioning from Halloween into Christmas."
Yeah.
So it was just more about, like, the message, and then now it was like,
Mhm.
"Okay, yes, like, let me make a profit off this," and then just kind of
Yeah.
hit the wrong note. Because I think, yeah, your idea would have done exactly what they wanted,
Yeah,
in
it
a
would've gotten me
fun
excited. It'd be like,
yeah.
"Oh, okay, let's go." Or like,
Mhm.
"I didn't know that was gonna be on sale," or "I didn't
Mhm.
know that that was a product they were gonna do." Like,
Yeah.
there are so many things that Sephora could have done that would have been fun, that would have made people excited. I just you could have also, like, found, like, like, I'm always gonna be the person that tells you
Mhm.
to use your customers like influencers. Like, you could have picked, like, the top 10 TikTokers who are not necessarily influencers that are big Sephora people,
Mhm.
invite them to be at the shoot, and they get to be extras in the Sephora store while it's transformed. Those people
Mhm.
would have never stopped talking about it. They
Yeah.
would have talked about it for the rest of time.
Mhm,
Like,
mhm,
it would have been perfect. Like, she walks by them in an aisle and all of a sudden, like, their makeup and hair is done and, like, their
mhm,
outfit is different and, like, it just I don't know. Like, I just think of so many other ways that you could have
mhm.
done something fun and playful and made your customer feel seen. Instead, those same people that could have been the ad are now yelling at you and cutting off your cards because now they feel slighted because you basically called them poor to their face. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Okay, well, one thing too, though, I just read here was that they're making fun of a character who can't afford therapy when your audience may not also be able to afford therapy. Like, come on, like who
And it's
who
also been a tough
thought that
year.
was okay though?
A tough year. It's been a tough year. We all like, as a collective society, we need therapy. So,
Yeah.
like, maybe. Maybe
Yeah.
this is the year you give us a pass
I
and,
know.
like, don't
I
mock
don't know.
us.
Yeah. I'm just like, who came up with this and who was like writing it and was just like, yes, let's do this. Yeah, I don't know.
I
But then the
thought,
other thing, right? You and I were talking about this before about Christina not falling for it anymore and being like, it's rage bait. Like, I'm not going to give them the time of day anymore.
I don't think this was I don't think this was on purpose. I think
Okay.
this is out of touch people thinking they're funny, because I don't think Mariah would have agreed to do it if she thought
Uh-huh.
it was controversial. I think she's more protective of her brand than that.
Her brand, the
I
song, like,
Yeah, I
does this
don't
put a
think
stain on the song for every
I'm not
other
gonna let
year?
it. I'm not gonna let it.
And this is on top of cosmetics that had the controversial,
Yep,
ad, the Sydney Sweeney and American Eagle commercial. The fact that now we have to like question, is this actual rage bait or was it like just out of touch people that, made a mistake? And then
yeah,
where do you go from here? Because I feel like consumers empathy and like patience for allowing companies to like work their way back
yeah,
is shorter than ever. We've
yep,
seen that Target has not bounced back from
yep,
their initial like quarter sales after they got rid of the whole DEI and like diversity internal policy that they
mhm,
had. So I think we're going to continue seeing that consumers are like sticking to their guns and not just like coming back as soon as they like issue an
yep.
apology. Speaking of which, have they issued an apology?
Not that I've seen,
Yeah.
and I'm sure we won't get one. I think if we get one at all, it'll be a misunderstanding. That was not our intention.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get an apology on this one. I think you're gonna get
Yeah.
a we just weren't aligned on messaging. It was a misunderstanding. That's if I think that's the comms we'll see if we get any at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder since this one is what we were thinking it was unintentional, if a more like a deeper apology might be necessary and like work. But it's kind of shown that a lot of companies just don't care right now.